The HAF series from Cooler Master has always received recognition when it comes to great airflow without compromise. The branding truly stands behind its purpose and with quality and practical chassis. So Cooler Master is further expanding this popular line of HAF series cases with the introduction of this Cube ATX case, the HAF XB. It's ringing in at $99, which would make it an appealing choice for mobile gamers. Now, this rather unconventional size redefines what we are so accustomed to, and this cube design has many benefits of portability and features. So let's take a look if this new case lives up to the great reputation of the HAF series. Now, the exterior still maintains this industrial look with the usual integration of plastic and steel for construction. Now, Cooler Master is also releasing windowed side panels for this case for those wanting to show off your internals, and they will be sold separately. And starting off with the front panel, we have the main airflow intake that's crucial for cooling your internals. The mesh includes a built-in dust filter, and behind we have dual 120mm fans and support for 140mm fans as well. Now, the front panel connectors include the power and reset buttons, your audio ports, and 2 USB 3 ports. At the front, we also have 2 hot swap trays that support both 2.5 and 3.5 inch drives, and the tray itself is something unique and we haven't seen before, as it is extendable so you don't have to bend the tray once putting in the drive. Now, the system is actually quite clever and allows for the trays to be a lot sturdier. And lastly, we have 2 5.25 inch bays that are included with removable covers. Now, the sides are identical and have plenty of venting holes, and we also get these handles that make transporting the HAF XB really convenient. And the top is designed for fan placement without interference with your CPU cooler. However, only the 200mm fan is supported. It would be nice for them to include the top fan along with different fan mounting options, for example like your standard 120 or 140mm fans. At the bottom we have large case feet along with venting holes for your lower portion of the chassis. And in the back we have an exhaust fan, I/O area, 7 PCI slots, a power supply bracket, and 2 80mm fan mounting options, and more ventilation holes and potential water cooling cutouts. And of course, an external removable dust filter for your power supply, sort of a standard for this chassis market. Now, assembling the case does require a specific workflow. First, removing all the panels that are secured with thumb screws, we get the cube skeleton. Now, the chassis is divided into several sections to maximize the use of space in an efficient manner. We have the top portion that houses your main components with the 2 front fans as your main cooling component, while the bottom houses your power supply and all of your drives. At the bottom we have 2 optical drives with toolless mounting, the 2.5 inch drive cage supporting up to 4 SSDs, and Cooler Master includes these single brackets that are first attached to the drive. Again, no screws required, which makes things a lot easier to mount. So the 2 optional 80mm rear fans would probably be installed as intake fans to keep the downstairs fresh. Now, on the other side, the power supply is slightly raised on a platform that is covered in anti-vibration foam. And thanks to the bracket, users with longer power supplies are being considered. We have about 190mm of clearance. And not only that, but having that extra room as you wire your build will prevent you from kicking your cat in frustration. And after installing our 1000 watt power supply, we still had 6 centimeters of clearance. And also having those hot swap connections right in the front of the power supply, it is another benefit for that additional space. Now, you probably know a certain individual who would be ecstatic about removable motherboard trays, and that's exactly what we have here. This makes assembly a lot simpler, both with motherboard and cooler mount, along with setting up all your wiring for the drives at the bottom. Now, the tray has a fairly large CPU cutout along with a single cable cutout at the bottom that would help routing those front panel connections. And to further aid with cable management, the entire bottom of the case is covered with cable tie notches, along with more notches on each sidebar. So a great commitment from Cooler Master on cable management. And by keeping all the cable mess at the bottom compartment, you minimize resistance on airflow. Now, before installing the motherboard tray, prepare your 8, 24 and PCI Express cables to be routed into the top compartment. And after everything's in place, you get a clean looking build. Graphics cards in length of 12.5 inches are supported, and with anything up to 10.5 inches, you still have clearance for a potential dual radiator. Now, CPU coolers up to 180mm are supported, and clearance will vary based on the fan configuration for the top panel. And once everything is put together, you do appreciate the hassle-free assembly, and those two hot swappable trays do come in handy without the need to mess around with wiring, and in case you need to replace any of the 2.5-inch drives on the side, there's enough room for your hand to fit and deal with the connections. So the new HAF XB is sort of a unique number. It acts as an enthusiast enclosure with all the great features that we love, including easy portability, great build quality, removable motherboard tray, and included power supply bracket that simplifies the assembly process. We also have two hot swap bays with a clever bracket, great cable management that requires a specific build sequence to it, and we have enthusiast hardware support, along with passive airflow that directly cools your main components. And lastly, Cooler Master has always been an excellent competitor, and with a release price of $99, it's a sweet spot for the HAF XB. Now, the only thing I wish Cooler Master would have done differently is perhaps include 200mm fan for the top and additional mounting options for the fans. So the HAF XB serves as a great case and is well designed for what it is. Not everyone will find the size or shape functional, but that is left for you to decide. If you are in the market for a feature-packed, mobile-ready gaming system, the HAF XB is an excellent option. And we're giving it the Hardware Canucks damn good award. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and we'll see you in the next one.